let's start from the bottom. How do we build up youth sports, do you think? Like, do you have like any ideas or like sort of things you wish would happen?
I got a bunch of ideas. Um, you know,
Let's go. Let's do it. We got time.
I got a bunch of ideas. Like, I spoke to some people over there. I'm trying to, help them out with some things.
Hmm.
If they would let me, I'd be happy to do it just because I play new sports as well.
Yo, CC me on those emails.
Hopefully, like, but it's just like the first thing I think like they have a lot of high level talent that is just as good
Hmm.
like as the NCAA guys,
Hmm.
like some of them.
Hmm.
And it's like if you would market the players more, like because like no disrespect, like no one's gonna care about, you know, I mean, no, I'm not gonna even name the school to just try and
Right,
discredit
right, right.
whoever. No one cares about a school and wherever
Hmm.
unless you tell a story about a high level kid who's going there and he's
Right.
overachieving things. And he's overachieving. Then I'm gonna want to tap in. Okay, who is he? Where is he playing? What's the
Hmm.
school about? Then I can look into the youth sports as a place to play later on in life.
Hmm. Well, like for me, the number one thing is like if Elijah Fisher chose to go to Ryerson, why is he paying money? You know what I mean? Why is like because like they'll give him what was it like is it 1,400 or something? It was like 4,500. I forget. It's not a full ride, right?
It's not.
You get a quarter ride or something crazy like that, and it's just like I understand you want them to have some skin in the game, you want them to have an education, all that stuff. But like if you have
A high
uh,
level athlete.
that
Yeah,
guy, like there's got to be full rides. I think not even just basketball. I think it's got to be all of us.
of course. And I think that also like this is in a lot of industries too.
Hmm.
Um, Obviously there's a business side and to everything, but they need more people who actually play the game
Hmm.
helping out with like build the programs because like I remember one time some guy who worked for U Sports, like I don't know what he did, like
Hmm.
try to talk to me about, oh, if I because I said, yo, if Zion decided to play for a U Sports school, revenue's going through the roof because you're gonna
Right.
have ad deals, all that stuff. Like,
Hmm.
and he's like, nah, I wouldn't change a thing. I'm like, I check his bio. I'm like, okay, you're what do you call it? What do you those play by play guys?
Right.
But your background's in hockey, and you have an opinion. You don't even know who Zion is. So it's like,
Hmm.
why are you covering the sport and giving valuable input on something you don't understand? So that's another issue.
Uh, Duke played Ryerson, ironically.
Yeah.
And Zion's first game was against Ryerson at the I think it's called the Hershey Center at the time. I think it's called something else now. Sold
Yeah.
out. RJ Barrett's on that team as well, so like it was kind of a perfect storm. But
Mhm.
like, yeah, no, there's people want to see high level basketball, but there's I think two distinct different problems or multiple distinct problems. But like, yeah, if you have the talent first and foremost,
Mhm.
people are going to the game. Like it's happening,
Mhm.
but it's frustrating. The other thing I want to pick your brain on is kind of like just like the cultural aspect of youth sports because it's not the product. You know, it's not like
Mhm.
it's on TV a lot, and even I skip it sometimes. Like there
Yeah.
has to be. How do you think we get buy-in to youth sports aside from talent? Do you think there's like other ways we can approach it because maybe one has to come before the other?
Well, youth sports has to be more visible at these at these grassroots levels. I think
Hmm.
as far as like the tournaments, the AU teams, like they got to be over there. They got to be visible and maybe even creating like some type of feeder system, doing community outreach as a
Hmm.
as a as a brand versus Ryerson do your own thing. You do your own. Like, nah, come together as one and make the brand known that way. They've rebranded, which it's a better job now, but I still like think there's more they can do.
For sure, and yeah, it's something I wrestle with a lot because I want like there should be a March Madness for U Sports as well. And
Yeah.
when you do sacrifice the time and you actually do sit down to watch U Sports games, you don't regret it. It's good
Mhm.
basketball. And those guys like over time and time again, we hear like they are capable of playing D1, a lot of these guys.
Mhm.
And for whatever reason, like if you're not going to be the top player in the program, it's not going to be likely that they're they're
Yeah.
gonna scooch down the bottom of D1. But there's
I mean, another thing too is like a trainer made a good point to me. Like Carlton
Mhm.
is dope. Like they're dominating. But for instance, you have a bunch of fourth years and fifth years, and you're gonna go play against Duke. And I didn't understand why Duke quote unquote dodged them. But if I have RJ Barrett and Zion, and I know this is a business, and they're first year guys,
Mhm.
we go play a bunch of fifth years in Canada. It's gonna mess up their draft, potentially mess up their draft stock.
Mhm.
And these are grown men. So like the U Sports, like you don't really get freshmen who are on the level of like RJ Barrett at 17 years old, who's
Mhm.
already an NBA player. So it's like that's another thing. Like the talent, I feel like there's obviously a talent gap as well,
Mhm.
but yeah, man, it's gonna ultimately come down to marketing, and they've done a way better job of the tournament as of late.
Yeah. And the tournaments are good, but it should be week in, week out kind of thing. Like it can definitely get better. I mean, look, they're not going to fix it overnight. I think
Mhm.
the popularity of basketball in Canada is like it's growing exponentially right now. So maybe it just wasn't a thing they had to think about. But like, dude, I I want to say it. I do think basketball might overtake hockey. Is that too crazy to think?
It's not.
Because I'm walking my dog every day. I'm going around the neighborhoods everywhere, and I don't see anybody playing hockey right now. I see
Yeah.
everyone playing basketball right now. So
Mhm.
maybe we wait on it, but yeah, you're gonna say something.
No, I agree. I was just
Yeah.
agreeing. Yeah.
Okay. But yeah, like, and if basketball overtakes hockey, then we gotta change things because then everyone's just gonna go to the States even earlier. I think
Yeah.
they're gonna become popping early, and they're gonna be like, well, I might just do my last year of elementary school in the States
Yeah.
or something like crazy like that. So
I agree, bro. I agree, and at least the MPA and the OSBA has started. So
Mhm.
I mean, it's gonna get better over time. So it's definitely a good start.